Okay, students, this topic science and spirituality. ये टॉपिक को है टोटल 5 स्टार्स. कितने स्टार्स हैं? 5 स्टार्स. ओके, टॉपिक को 5 स्टार्स क्यों है? आई विल टेल यू वेरी सिंपल. बिकॉज ये टॉपिक हमको एज अ रीडर, this topic takes us to two different platforms or two different paths. One path is typically science, which is purely based on, okay, one path is typically science, which is purely based on rational attitude, okay, and another and rational and practical attitude, which is based on logic. और दूसरा पार्ट है स्पिरिचुअलिटी. दूसरा पार्ट कौन सा बेटा? सेकेंड पार्ट इज बेस्ड ऑन स्पिरिचुअलिटी, विच इज बेस्ड ऑन supernatural things, which is based on supernatural things, number one. And number second, this is also, spirituality is also based on what? It is based on understanding of the God and power. Now topic में दिया क्या है? Topic is a bit difficult to note. मतलब suddenly this topic becomes difficult to understand because इसमें spirituality भी है, science part भी है, something like black magic, or you can say something which is vivid powers इसमें भी है. But end of the day, it's a combination of both. हमारी जो life है, it's a combination of science typically, but it also has got the spiritual power. It also has got something called as the power, or which is called as the third eye of the Almighty, which is trying to bless us. और उनके बिना, the prayers and the blessings के बिना ये topic science and spirituality possible नहीं हो सकता है. So let's get back to this part now. Science and spirituality warming up. Get into pairs or groups and match the columns in detail. Okay, and get into pairs and or groups and match the columns in detail. So activity based question again, which is an important part. We have to do it compulsorily. First activity based question. Okay, what is the meaning of science? The intellectual, practical, systematic study of structure and behavior of the natural world through experimental observation. That's called as science. Okay, religion. What is the meaning of religion? The belief, spirituality, the quality of being more concerned with the human spirit as opposed to material or physical spirit. Philosophy. What is the meaning of philosophy? The study of nature of God and religious belief. That's philosophy. Theology is the study of the basic nature of knowledge, reality and existence. That's called as theology. Okay. Now, given below are some incomplete quotes. Complete them by choosing the word science, religion or spiritual and make them meaningful. Dash without religion is lame. Dash without science is blind. Okay. Science without religion is lame, and religion without science is blind. Dash has outrun our power. Science has outrun our spiritual power. Okay. We have guided missiles but misguided man. On a dash journey, we all have the same destination. On a spiritual journey, we all have destination. Dash is meant to awaken man's love for his source, God. Okay. Religion is meant to awaken. Okay. Guys, it's simple. समझ लो पहले क्या है. सबसे पहले चलता है religion. Okay. And on the basis of this, you have spiritual powers. So religion आपके spiritual capacity को control करता है, and everything of this is being controlled over by science. So without science, there is no spirituality. Clear, everybody? Dash provides a means of with the creator of heaven and earth in the language of your heart and soul. What they have given? Dash provides some meaning of with the creator of heaven and earth. Religion provides, okay. Dash is a beautiful gift to humanity. We should not distort it. Religion is a beautiful gift to humanity. You can also add science is a beautiful gift to humanity. But as science is not a gift, it's an origin of what we have done. That's why the real answer is religion. What's the difference between science and technology? Discuss in pairs and write your answer to the class. What is the difference between science and spirituality? Science gives you the exact understandings between the good and the bad. the black and the white. Technology is based on science. Science is not based on technology. Technology is based on science. So need to learn this very well. Uh, Science and faith are important, both important in our lives. Yes, both are important, because where there is science is because there is faith in science, and where there is faith there is because of scientific spirit, because we believe in God. God is the creator and the protector of the entire universe, so it's a scientific thing. Let's believe in the superpower of the God, let's believe on his blessings, but not have blind faith on his blessings. Okay. uh, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, थोड़ा समझ लो. स्पिरिचुअल मतलब स्टेट ऑफ बीइंग स्पिरिटेड, दैट स्पिरिचुअल. Spirituality is an I would say is a process. Spiritualism is an idea, and spiritualist is a person whose practices spirituality is called as spiritualist. Clear, everybody? Let's go with the lesson. We often witness conflict between two groups of people, one that believes in science and the other that believes in religion. One that believes in science and the other that believes in religion. बच्चों इन्होंने इसमें दिया क्या है lesson में? Okay, lesson is of course there is about the great scientist Dr. Kalam. Okay, at the same time lesson also has something like about his father. At the same time, it is also mentioned that Dr. Kalam, being the president of India, turned out eventually. Okay, then the feelings of Dr. Kalam when he joined in ISRO with Vikram Sarabhai. Okay, at ISRO that they have given. Then you have the teachings of Vikram Sarabhai. We'll be learning part one of the topic only today. What exactly it is? दिया क्या है part one में? Dr. Kalam was a great scientist, this is indisputable, but he was also convinced that fact and faith together create a better planet. So, in spite of Dr. Kalam being a scientist, he believed that fact and faith can create together a better planet. Faith is a positive faith, but he does not believe in blind faith. Faith क्या है बेटा? Faith is a positive faith. It is not a blind faith. He once told me science and faith must coexist for the human good. Science provides, very important बच्चों, science provides focus. Focus helps us solve questions, discover the truth and conceive intentions. Faith provides perspective. Perspective helps us to see how our creations and discoveries go on impacting, a combination vital for the success of societies. Science accelerates progress and faith curbs it within reasonable limitations. जहाँ पे साइंस खत्म होता है, that's where the faith begins, is what indirectly Dr. Kalam believes. Simple, ऑपरेशन थिएटर में जाते हैं, people enter an operation theater, they are willing to operate or get into the operation of some of their bodily injuries or maybe some problem. Doctors tell them, we will try our level best. We are doctors, we believe in science. ऐसा करोगे, इस एक्सपेरिमेंट को करोगे तो ये नतीजा निकलेगा, बट वी आर नॉट गॉड. सो दे ऑल्सो से द सेकेंड लाइन दैट लेट्स होप फॉर अ मिरेकल. That is what is science and faith. So if you have scientific attitude, good faith will come. If you don't have a scientific attitude, bad faith, blind faith will come. Understand this. Okay, if the two function true to their roles, they will work together for the betterment of humanity. Remember, God is the blessing giver. God is the one who's going to give us prayers. He is not the one who's going to help us overcome our blind beliefs. No. He will support our scientific experiments. He will not do anything unwanted. Dr. Kalam's own life was nourished by multiple faiths. His father, a boatman, also served as an imam at a local mosque. Imam matlab is served as a priest in a local mosque. Muslim mythology, Islamic world believes priest to be called as an imam. And two of his best friends were from two different religions. One was Dr. Kalam's friend who was a Hindu and the other was a Christian. Pakshi Lakshmana Shastrigal was the head priest of the famous Rameswara temple and a Vedic scholar, and Reverend Father Bodil had built the first church on Rameshwar Island. Dr. Kalam recalled how all three of them, in the unique attire of their religion, used to sit and discuss the community's problems and find solutions. Okay, who all three of them? Okay, who all three? Dr. Kalam's father, who was an imam, then Reverend Father Bodil, okay, his friend's father, and Pakshi Lakshmi Shastrigal. These three people were the people who were good friends of Dr. Kalam. Automatically, Dr. Kalam's father being a Muslim, Dr. Kalam himself being a Muslim, his father worked as an imam. Dr. Kalam was good friend with Pakshi Lakshmana Shastrigal's son, as well as the son of the Christian Reverend Father. इन तीनों में जितनी अच्छी फ्रेंडशिप थी उतनी ही अच्छी फ्रेंडशिप कलाम और उनके दो दोस्तों में थी. Clear. Throughout the nation and the world, the need to have a frank dialogue among cultures, religions, and civilizations is felt now even more because we are a secular country. हम कैसा देश है बेटा? हम secular country हैं. हम सर्व जाति धर्म भाव को एक साथ लेके चलने वाले हैं. So Dr. Kalam says that it's important to have a dialogue, a general discussion between faiths and customs and rituals and traditions of people living in all caste, tribe, and community together. When asked where he got his humility from, Dr. Kalam would always attribute it to his father. Yes. In him, he saw how simplicity and divinity could go together. Even though his father was a boatman, Dr. Kalam went on to become the President of India. They shared the same values in life. Both believed that if one leads a spiritual life, then the spirituality can lift them out of any kind of confusion, misery, or failure. Obviously, because spirituality believes in what is good, what is bad. But spirituality tells you this in the most subtle, sober, and a sweet manner. That's spirituality. Okay. Okay. Now, dear students, as we have referred with part 1, part 1 में क्या दिया है? Part 1 में दिया है Dr. Kalam says that I come from very humble and a very simple, modest background, जहाँ पे I believe that humanity was valued more than any thing. Rather, he also says that मैं जहाँ से आता हूँ वहाँ पे nothing was above the religion called humanity. So, in spite of he being growing with friends around him who were Hindus, who were Christians, and who were Sikhs, who were Jains, that is, people who belong from all sorts of communities and all sorts of religious beliefs, still there was never a discrimination on the grounds of religion, language, sect, customs, and traditions. He has given a very prime example that I come from a place where my father was an imam in a local mosque. I had a friend who was a Hindu. His father was working as a priest in the famous Rameswaram temple, that is Pakshi Lakshmi Shastrigal. And then there was Reverend Father Bodal, who had built the first church in Rameswaram Island. So these were my father's friends, or inke automatically, as these were my father's friends, even their children went on to become my friends also. So he says that right from my childhood, मैंने कभी भी on the basis of religion या on the basis of person's caste and creed कभी differentiate नहीं किया हुआ देखा है. So science believes more on practical humanitarian approach, and religion believes that if you have humanity, your scientific spirits will come in together. Okay, so ये हमने देखा है बच्चों in part 1. Now we have to refer part 2. In 1960, when Dr. Kalam joined ISRO, it was just a fledgling organization. His interactions with the great scientist Professor Vikram Sarabhai and Reverend Peter Bernard Pereira shaped his thoughts on religion. It was here that he learnt about the true meaning of religious service. Now, दो तीन बातें इसमें which I would like to discuss in detail. Okay, number 1 is ISRO, and of course the new words that we have been seeing for is fledgling. What is the meaning of ISRO? Okay, ISRO का full form क्या है बेटा? ISRO का full form है Indian Space Research Organization. ये है इसरो का फुल फॉर्म. जैसे ही इवेंचुअली एज वी हैव सीन इन द वर्ल्ड, वी आर फेमस इन अमेरिका, देयर इज फेमस नासा, नेशनल एरोनॉटिक स्पेस रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. वैसे ही इंडिया का खुद का इंडियन स्पेस रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है. इट्स सिचुएटेड इन बैंगलोर एंड इट हैज बीन टच्ड बाय द ग्रेट फीट्स ऑफ डॉक्टर कलाम, डॉक्टर विक्रम साराभाई, द ग्रेट साइंटिस्ट टुडे इज अ लिविंग लेजेंड, ओके, डॉक्टर रघुनाथ माशेलकर. So these people are the ones who have been a part of ISRO's core group and have made possible for India to launch its foot on the universal maps as well. Now, and next one is, it was just a fledgling organization. Fledgling मतलब जो debut हुआ है, शुरुआत की है, but it is inexperienced but has got great future. That is called as fledgling organization. ये word fledgling हम generally sportsman के लिए करते हैं. Any sportsman who is very new, who is absolute amateur, जो शुरुआत करता है अपना, लेकिन some great expertise people have seen him or her, तो generally कहते हैं that this sportsman has a fledgling career, though inexperienced, but still the career will be good. Okay. His interactions with Vikram Sarabhai and the Reverend Peter Bernard Pereira shaped his thoughts on religion. It was here that he learned about the true meaning of religious service. Professor Sarabhai and his team had selected a site in Thumba, Kerala, to set up their space research facility. It was an ideal site due to its proximity to the magnetic equator. Now, generally बच्चों, when you want to launch or when you want to go with something regarding the ISRO or maybe the space or space sciences and aeronautic engineering or something that part, you have to kindly note one thing और यहाँ पे देखना क्या है कि such places or such things which are close to the magnetic effects or near the equator, due to magnetic equator or maybe due to the geographical good things, ऐसे places को obviously or generally you get a good favorable climatic condition as well and favorable possible situations as well, जहाँ से आपको research organizations में regarding this fact बहुत मदद मिलती है. So it was an ideal site due to its proximity. Proximity का मतलब है, the meaning of proximity is closeness. Meaning of proximity is closeness. Okay. But there was a major roadblock in getting possession of the site as it was a fishing grounds of Thumba's fishermen. Okay. Moreover, it had an old church of Saint Mary Magdalene at a bishop's house in a school which was under the administration of the church. Government officials predicted that it would be impossible to relocate so many people from the site, relocate so many people from the site and destroy religious institutions for the sake of a space research center. But upon Sarabhai's persistence, it was suggested that they approach the only person who could help them in this situation, Father Pereira, and the then Bishop of the region. Bishop matlab, this is actually a terminology which believes or which has got origin in Catholic people, okay, in the minds of Catholics, okay, जहाँ पे generally कहा जाता है people who follow or people who listen to a spiritual person who gives them the differences between what is right and what is wrong. लोगों की मदद भी करते लेकिन they make people know or understand new things, जो सही है और गलत है उसमें फर्क जो लोग समझाते हैं उनको generally bishop करके कहा जाता है. It's a Catholic terminology. Dr. Sarabhi and Dr. Kalam approached Father Pereira on a Saturday evening. The Reverend said, "Oh Vikram, you are asking me for my children's abode, for my abode, and for God's abode. How is it possible?" Father Pereira then invited the party to visit the church on the Sunday morning. Dr. Sarabhai, his team, and the forever inquisitive disciple, Dr. Kalam, took upon the offer. Okay, what is the meaning of inquisitive? Inquisitive मतलब जिनका माइंड हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ नया करने की, कुछ ना कुछ नया सोचने की अर्नेस्ट डिजायर रखता है. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ अर्नेस्ट डिजायर? अर्नेस्ट डिजायर मतलब कुछ एक इच्छा आकांक्षा रखता है कि हमको सच में कुछ ना कुछ नया करना है. Always willing to do something is called as inquisitive. Another word for inquisitive is also called as innovative. At church the next Sunday, the Reverend invited Dr. Sarabhai up to the dais after the prayer service. Turning up to everyone present, he said, "Dear children, here is a scientist, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. What does science do for us? We benefit from the devices that science has developed to light up our homes. I'm able to talk to you using this mic thanks to technological advancement. Mic, a receiver which reciprocates sound on a larger platform. That's called as a mic. Medical science allows doctors to diagnose and treat patients. Science and technology enhance the overall comfort and quality of human life. And what do I do as a preacher? I pray for you, for your well-being, and for your peace." In short, Vikram and I are doing the same job. What have they given over here? They have stated that science believes in facts, and they believe in facts, and they believe in truths. But on the same lines, if you go for the understanding of human life, though human life is more dependent upon the facts और जो सही बातें उसके ऊपर, लेकिन human life revolves more around spiritual understanding. Clear everybody? Yes. And what do I preach as a preacher? I pray for you, for your well-being and for your peace. Are doing the same job. Both science and spirituality seek the Almighty's blessings for the prosperity of the human body, human mind and body. Dear children, Dr. Vikram says that within a year he wants to build scientific facilities near the sea coast, replacing all the settlements that now stand there. Can you give up your abode?
Can I give up my abode? Can we give up God's abode for such a great scientific mission? Okay, abode matlab the creation of the God, or maybe this is called matlab what have they said? Dr. Vikram Sarabhe का ये मानना है कि near the coast, which is close to geographical possibilities or geographical good climatic condition, उनको वहाँ पे वो इसरो सेंटर जैसा कुछ खड़ा करना है. But they says that अगर नियर द कोस्ट लाइन अगर कुछ ऐसा खड़ा करना है तो क्या can it be possible for the settlements over there to be shifted? The answer is you have to shift because you got to go for something more scientific and something more beneficial for the human beings. Dr. Karam recalled how he witnessed a pin drop silence for a long moment. जाहिर सी बात है जब लोगों को खुद के सेटलमेंट्स में से बाहर निकालना है या उनको खुद के घर खाली करने को बोला जाए because there has to be some scientific developments, so obviously this is going to be a bit stressful matter for the people who are into those possibilities. Then everyone got up, and the whole church reverberated with the deafening noise of a collective Amen. Amen is their way of saying in the Catholics or in the Christians, they believe Amen ka matlab hai we all agree in the or for the cause of Almighty. And so work on the research center was soon underway. What is the meaning of this? Was soon underway, which means was on progressive level. Was soon underway, which means was on a progressive level, but not without alternate accommodation being offered to the affected fishermen, the church, and the Reverend Pereira. A few years later, now हम लोग देखेंगे part 3. A few years later in the 1980s, Professor Satish Dhawan, the director of ISRO, under whom Dr. Kalam had made his first unsuccessful launch in 70 and then a successful one in 1980, had provided him with more soul-shaping wisdom. One day in 2012, we were discussing the number of PhDs Dr. Kalam had received. He said to me, Srijan, Professor Dhawan had so many master's degrees, all from the best institutions, no less. So I asked him, how can one become so academically accomplished? He responded saying that academic brilliance is no different from the brilliance of a mirror, which can be diminished by a coating of dust. Only when the dust is removed does the mirror shine and the reflection becomes clear. Yes, what have they given? They have compared academic brilliance with the mirror. देखो everybody, most people in the world today are educated, but what's the use or what's the point of that education which you and me are not able to cultivate our education, our academic brilliance into something better for which people can shine together. This is or which can help us shine because of our academic brilliance. So degrees, right? That's not going to help. If you are able to utilize your degree, those degrees for the brilliant use of science or for the brilliant use of your own ideas, that's what your degrees will be helpful. That is why Dr. Kalam has compared that is why the lesson has compared academic brilliance with that of a mirror. Unless and until the coating of the dust is removed, the mirror will not shine. Similarly, academic brilliance will never shine unless and until one person is able to keep his things growing better and brighter. We can remove the impurities obscuring our souls by living pure and ethical lives and by serving humanity. And then God will shine through us. These words took me back to my meeting with Dr. Kalam after my graduation from IIMA. Now, IIMA is Indian Institute of Management Administration. Okay, so in 2009, at the time, he had advised me to use my degree and gold medal to transform the society I lived in. Back in the present moment, it suddenly struck me that Dr. Kalam's advice had in fact directly resonated from Professor Dhawan's beliefs. Okay, I would like to discuss a bit of a thing over here, students. That when the author himself had graduated from IIMA, okay, what had happened over here? He was of the opinion that Dr. Kalam had suggested him that use your certificate and your gold medal for the benefit of the people. Similar part has been talked about by one of Gandhiji's lessons, which was there in the previous or the old syllabus. लेसन ये था कि पर्सन द ऑथर टर्न्स टू गेट इकोनॉमिक्स, he learns economics as an educated degree उनको मिलती है in economics. So he says that I would like to learn more economics by visiting a foreign university. तो वहाँ पे गांधी जी उनको कहते हैं if you want to learn economics don't go to foreign universities, go to our Indian villages, you will learn economics better. So this is what is called as your understandings with the subject. आपका अगर subject है तो learn the subject in a realistic manner, in a rational manner, and not only from the point of view of the bookish understandings. Okay. Yeah. The more I lived and worked with Dr. Kalam, the more I realized that though his words of wisdom I was getting to learn from countless great minds. Because Dr. Kalam himself had been associated, his ideas were influenced by Vikram Sarabhai, Dr. Satish Dhawan, and that is why the author also says that even Dr. Kalam's mind was trained or was influenced in such a way that he influenced people to harness and explore their greatness. Agree. In April 2009, Dr. Kalam was invited to attend the 102nd birthday celebration of His Holiness Dr. Sri Sri Shivakumara Mahaswamiji in the Tumkur district of Karnataka. Mahaswamiji is a remarkable person who has dedicated his life to the service of humanity. His greatest contributions is the establishment of a free residential education system for more than 9,000 children in the ashram. Okay, so the most astonishing aspect of the entire event of his birthday was that it was the 102nd-year-old Swamiji stood on his feet without any support. Is it not great? 102 साल के स्वामी जी is standing on his feet without any support. That shows the greatness and the, what you can say is the intensity of the person to believe or to do something good in spite of your age not on your side. As they say, age is just a number. Similarly, Mahaswamiji proved it absolutely correct over here. Okay, now some important word. What is the meaning of astonishing, my dear friends? Astonishing का मतलब है to be surprising or to be surprised. Another word for this would be astounded. Astounded का मतलब भी है surprising. Okay. He looked as steady and alert as any other youngster present there. This display of inner strength touched Dr. Kalam deeply. A couple of days later, we were discussing this unusual birthday party. I said to him, "Sir, do you know only 4 out of 1 lakh people cross the age of 100? I had googled the subject beforehand." He replied, "But how many of these 4 would be able to stand tall for half an hour?" Give a wise discourse and then go on to feed thousands of children. Discourse का मतलब है a formal talk including a debate. Of course, nobody could know the exact answer to his question, but the question itself led to many other relevant queries. I wonder what powers Mahaswamiji possess that keep him so strong at such an advanced age. Maybe it's a balanced diet and a healthy lifestyle, or perhaps it's genetics. Okay. Dr. Kalam sat contemplating deeply. What is the meaning of contemplating? Contemplating is thinking, और contemplating का दूसरा नाम भी है pondering. Okay. He recollected the tenet of goodness of action from Pramukha Swamiji. Then, perhaps swimming in silence to the shores of Mahapragyaji, he gathered the sands of conscience to be our guide, our best friend. Deeper down in the space-time of memory, he must have heard Professor Prakash's words about the need of living a pure and ethical life, and Father Pereira and Dr. Sarabhai's lessons of selflessness in service. Eventually, his thoughts would have settled on Swami Sivananda of Rishikesh, in whom he saw great tranquility. And finally, they must have come full circle with the memory of the life of simplicity of his father, who always espoused the values of giving back. Espouse is stressed upon, okay? Stressed upon, or you can also say supported. ओके ये जो पैराग्राफ है ना इट्स अ टिपिकल स्पिरिचुअल पैराग्राफ दैट्स व्हाई आई वुड एक्सप्लेन इन सिंपल वर्ड्स क्या दिया है यहाँ पे डॉक्टर कलाम और जो ऑथर के बीच में डिस्कशन हुआ है और मे बी द थिंकिंग्स और द रेफरेंस ऑफ डॉक्टर कलाम टीचिंग्स हैव बीन इम्पोज इन दिस पैराग्राफ ये कहते हैं कि अगर आपको अच्छा मतलब टू लिव अ बेटर लाइफ इफ़ यू वांट टू लिव अ गुड लाइफ इफ़ यू वांट टू लिव एन एथिकल लाइफ अगर हम सबको एक अच्छी ज़िंदगी जीनी है so Dr. Kalam says that you don't necessarily have to believe in spirituality. Even science can help you lead a good life. A healthy life leads to, or a healthy body resides in a healthy mind, or a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. कुछ भी कहो. But end of the day, because of scientific spirits, will live a better life as well. Not just spirituality. Spirituality guides you. Science makes you believe in what is right and what is wrong. This is what has been expressed in this paragraph of spirituality and science. At long last he spoke. It is very spirit of what can I give. He elaborated Mahaswamiji's life with the beliefs and ethos of our mission. Ethos is spirit or maybe the aim of the mission that they say. He gives education to famished minds, food to famished bodies. Famished matlab minds which need to be trained, or it can also called as disintegrated. He becomes strong. His munificence fuels his strength. This is what keeps him standing tall and active in life. The essence of a happy life and a peaceful society lies in one sentence. What can I give? देखो जिंदगी में ना there is one part which everybody needs to note it very well, and that is try giving. There is always a joy in giving. लोगों को gifts दो, give them happiness, give them joy, give them peace. जो ऐसा हिंदी में कहावत है, जो देने में मजा है वो लेने में नहीं. What is good in giving is not in receiving or taking. So think about what can make people happy. This is what has also this topic talked about. Happiness lies in giving and not in receiving. Turning to me, he asked, what is the reverse of what can I give? Circumspectly, I replied, what can I take? Yes, he said, and that is the thought which is responsible for all the wrong that we see around. Of course, the author is being questioned. Opposite of what you can give is what can I take? But the real meaning lies in, what happens is today the world is fighting. I give you this, you give me that. There's always reciprocation of something. Agreed. But if there is a constant give and take of the material things or the material facts, that is something which is very, very wrong. So one has to note that आज दुनिया में जो भी ईगोज और जो भी फाइट्स जो भी वॉर्स होते हैं बिकॉज व्हाट इफ आई कैन गिव दिस आई वांट समथिंग इन रिटर्न पीपल ऑलवेज एक्सपेक्ट समथिंग हैज टू बी गिवन टू देम एंड दैट इज व्हाई ऑल द फाइट्स एंड ऑल द रेफरिंग्स एंड ऑल द प्रॉब्लम्स occur. We think that we can take from the environment and destroy it indiscriminately. We think of what we can take from other humans, leading us to corruption and inequity. This attitude of taking and taking even destroys families. To keep this planet livable and the human race thriving, we have to replace this attitude of what can I take with the goodness of what can I give. The gravity of the message struck me. This challenge became my silent motivation. 3 years later, in 2012, this idea became a reality as our What Can I Give movement, through which Dr. Kalam tried to combat corruption, environmental degradation, and social evils. It is important that we ask ourselves this question, for in the answer lies the truth of humanity. So go ahead and question, what can I give? The answers will be astounding. So obviously, it's been said that all the problems in the world today are because what can I do? मुझे क्या चाहिए? That's it. That's what people are concerned. Rather, people should be concerned about what better I can do for the people. If you are at a mistake, accept it, because goodness lies in accepting, being humble, being absolutely humanitarian, and nothing else. Science and spirituality, though are above everything, but nothing is above humanity. Okay, nothing is above humanity. Humanity is everything. You possess that, you respect that, and life will be a beautiful option to live in. Okay, so this was about the topic science and spirituality. In the coming next video, we'll be seeing with our activity based questions of science and spirituality, which are extremely important and in detail regarding or from the point of view of examinations. Let's get back to it. Activity based questions. Dear students, read part 1 and match the words in column A with associating words given in column B. क्या करना है इसमें, आपको कॉलम ए में जो वर्ड्स दिए उनके एसोसिएटेड वर्ड्स कॉलम बी में है तो उनको मैच कंपेयर करना है. इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन कम्स इन द पेपर, 2 मार्क के लिए है, तो आपको ऑब्वियसली यू डू नॉट हैव टू मिस दिस. साइंस एंड फेथ. ओके, साइंस एंड फेथ, बिलीवर्स ऑफ साइंस एंड रिलीजन्स. Science, what is science? Created by fact and faith. What is better planet? Better planet is obviously betterment of humanity. Okay, creations and discoveries, solves questions, discovers truth. Conflict is what? Success of societies. Okay, or you can also say better planet can be about societies, conflict and hay for the betterment of society. Okay, yes. Next ones. Go through part 2. Go through the given statements and say whether you agree or disagree to each of them. एक हाथ दो हम करते हैं, जिसके लिए आपको कंपल्सरीली जो पार्ट्स हैं, दैट मीन्स वॉट एवर आर द लेसन, वॉट एवर इज द लेसन, यू हैव टू रेफर द लेसन वेल. उसके ही बेसिस पे रेफर पार्ट 2. ऑन दैट बेसिस माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, यू हैव टू कंप्लीट द स्टेटमेंट्स. एक हाथ दो, आई विल डू इट फॉर यू. The space research set up facility and planned at Alapi, Kerala. Okay, Alapi, Kerala. No, as far as I go, it was in Tumba, Kerala. The person who could help and be coordinated was the bishop. Who could help? Yes, agree. Absolutely agree. Dr. Kalam joined ISRO in 70. Okay, they have given in part 2. Dr. Kalam joined ISRO. See, they have given it over here, my dear friends. ISRO in not 1970, he joined ISRO in 1960. इसलिए मैं आपको पहले टाइम से बोल रहा हूँ, cleanly read the lesson. Okay, make sure you read the lesson in detail. Every line of the lesson is important because on that basis अगर आपके questions dependent है तो I believe it's a pocket marks. You don't have to leave them at all. Okay, yes. So Dr. Kalam joined ISRO in 1960. So you disagree over here. Go through part 3 and complete the following statements. The essence of a happy life and a peaceful society lies in one sentence. Okay, humanity, and more importantly, it lies in what can I give back. That's about it. To keep this planet livable and human race thriving, we have to learn. We have to learn to give something to society. Mahaswamiji's greatest contribution is towards humanity, peace, and life. So again, you have to refer part 3 for this. Choose the correct alternative from the given statements. 2 marks questions. Dr. Kalam's father was an imam. Dr. Kalam's friends discussed on communities, problems, and solutions, or science and technology. They discussed on science and technology, science and spirituality. According to Dr. Kalam, what is felt more than ever is a dialogue among cultures, religions, and civilizations. Dr. Kalam's father was a symbol of trust and faith, simplicity and divinity. He was a symbol of trust and faith. Spirituality takes care of science, technology, and sci-fi, or education, teaching, and learning. Okay. Yes, guys, remember, spirituality is not blind faith. That's the two different story. Okay, spirituality is never equal to, or it is not equal to blind faith. Spirituality is about being spiritual, about being faithful towards the goodness of the life and humanity. It possesses more about human things. Blind faith matlab things which you believe blindly, which have got no relevance, which have got no truth in that. There is nothing true and there is nothing wrong in that. It is something which is very haphazard and weird. That's called as blind faith. So there is a difference. How academic brilliance can diminish by losing focus or by a coat of dust. What was the most astonishing fact about 102-year-old Swamiji? He looked steady and alert as a youngster. Dr. Kalam gathered while swimming in silence of the shores of Mahapragyaji. Beautiful seashores, tree-lined beaches, sands of conscience, beautiful sunsets. Sands of conscience. What is conscience? Is introspection about your own self, about your subconscious mindset. That's called as conscience. Among the 3 parts, there are people who touched and influenced the life of Dr. APJ Kalam in one or other ways. Complete the web chart by writing names of such people. Okay, so this is a web chart, you can complete it. Significance of the year 60, 70, 80, 2009, 2012. So you have to make sure that as per the reference of the topic, through which you can understand everywhere in the lesson, wherever there are things being given, like what happened in which year. So on that basis, you have to put in those fill in the blanks over there. Next ones, everybody. Who said to whom and when? Can we give up God's support for such great scientific mission? Okay, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai said this to the people around, or people who are gathered. Okay, or maybe sorry. At this point, remember it was about, can we give up God's abode for such a scientific mission? Who said this? This was said by Father Reverend, okay, to the people who had gathered in church. And then God will shine through us. God will shine through us. This was again said by Dr. Kalam. Okay, I wonder what power Mahaswamiji possesses that keeps him so strong. The author said this to Swamiji, to Dr. Kalam, or asked this to Dr. Kalam. Next one, answer the following questions. Something much over there. Write in your own simple words what the following expressions convey in the context they occur in the text. Faith and fact can together create a better planet. Yes, it can definitely. Faith nurtures faith nurtures humanity. Fact gathers the spirit of right and wrong. Okay. Dr. Kalam's own life was nourished. Dr. Kalam's own life was nourished by multiple faiths. Yes, because he grew up in people who were Muslims, who were Hindus, and who were Christians. So there was never a reciprocation, or there was always a reciprocation of good ideas, but never a discrimination. But there was a major roadblock. Yes, about religions, about settlements on the beach. At the same time, people who wanted, that is Vikram Sarabhai and Kalam, who wanted to settle down something more about science and development, but they had to manage the ideas and emotions of the people. Only when the dust is removed does the mirror shine, the reflection becomes clear. What does the following expression convey? It conveys that yes, there is no point. A diamond, if it is a diamond, let the diamond be out. You cannot keep the diamond into some storage and pack him out and keep, because a diamond which is going to shine, which has got a natural characteristic to shine, it will shine automatically. आप कुछ भी करो, वैसे ही your brainly intelligence, your understanding should be explored. They should not be dumped down. Next one. Through his words of wisdom, I was getting to learn from countless great minds. Through his words of wisdom, I was getting to learn from countless great minds. Yes, author says this because Kalam himself had been influenced by varied people like Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, Dr. Mashelkar at that time as well, then various spiritual gurus like Mahaswami ji, his father himself, Father Pereira, Dr. Reverend Father Pereira. So this is how things became clear. He gathered the sands of conscience to be our guide, our best friend. What can I take is the thought which is responsible for all the wrong see around us. People believe in what they can get and not what they can do for the society, and that is what the problem of the world today is. Okay. Next one, this comes as a one word form. Okay, and this comes in the paragraph based question. Ideally 2 marks के लिए question आता है. Increase the speed is accelerate. What is the meaning of increasing the speed? It is accelerate. Point of view, which means viewpoint. Nearness in space is proximity. A place of residence, shelter. Eager to know, we have learned innovative, लेकिन वहाँ पे word क्या दिया? Inquisitive. So the word is inquisitive. Okay, echoed loudly, which means loud shout, you can say, or reverted. Giving away much to the needy, help without making a difference. Without making a difference is without discriminating. Okay, yes. Arrange the following words in alphabetical order. Inventions, indisputable interactions, according to the alphabetical order. जैसे normal alphabetical order चलती है A B C D E, वैसे ही what comes. For example, I N, V आएगा, D आएगा, E आएगा. I N D. Indisputable, indiscriminate. First one would be indiscriminately, second one would be indisputable. Why so? Because I N D obviously दोनों का सेम है, S तक सेम है, लेकिन S के बाद सबसे पहले आइडियली इन द अल्फाबेटिकल ऑर्डर C आता है या P आता है? C आता है, इसलिए indiscriminately will be the first word and indisputable will be the second word. This is how you have to refer it. Find from the lesson the noun forms of combine. What is the noun form of combine, my dear friends? It's combination. Solve, it's solution. Simple, it's simplicity. Divine is divinity. Advance is advancement. Tranquil, tranquility. Livable, life. Strong is strength. Important hai, do not miss this, my dear friends. Important. Okay, next one. Match the word connectors with reference part 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, match the word connectors with reference to part 1, 2, 3 respectively. Make sentences of each of these connectors. Okay, now connectors matlab what link factors can be. So you have to refer it very well. Okay, government क्या रहता है? Government bodies. Okay, so let's get back to learn this. Government bodies. So if you have to go, bodies कहाँ पर है? O में है. So government bodies. Betterment of people, civil service. Betterment of humanity. So humanity will come M. Pure and ethical Pure and ethical. Yeah, aspect. So aspect will be the H1. Communities problems. So problems will be I1. So this is how you have to link the words. Okay, make sure you definitely refer this part as well. Next one. Subject plus verb plus object, object plus verb plus subject. Let's get back to this. Say whether the predicates in the following sentence have an object, a complement, and an adverbial. There was silence. There was silence. No, there is no predicate as such over here. Alexander Bell invented the telephone. This is the subject, and remaining part is the predicate. If we have to go with the voice, अगर इसमें आपको voice देखना है, there is a subject plus there is a verb and plus there is a object which comes as an active voice. Let's get back. Punctuate the following sentences to make them meaningful. Very simple activity. You can definitely refer them in detail. Now, draft a speech in your class for the school assembly. Convincing junior students that the secret of true happiness lies in two words. So, a speech and a writing skill. That is your expansion of an idea. ये दो जो पार्ट है, of course, as a part of your writing skill, हम लोग ये सब बाद में रेफर करेंगे. Wherein there will be a different video purely based on writing skills which cover 25 marks of your grammar. So dear students, this was about an activity based questions. As far as I go, I've been referring each and every activity. Make sure you obviously put into it and get back to me with any doubts. You can have the link in described to you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.